Well, hello everybody, and welcome to the Dear John Show with the Pipe on Sunday the 10th of June 2018. And we've got a full show again tonight. We have Myrna Dupree-Badgerow, Nina Thilo, Christine Barker, Charlotte Rains, and myself, of course. I decided I'd come this week. About time I made the show up, isn't it? And what have I got for you tonight? Tonight I'm going to read some quotes for the week ahead to start off the show. But first of all, I'm going to tell you who's coming, who's being read, who's reading. And I got most of it right. 97% of it I got written down here. I really did. I'm not joking. Hard to believe, but believe me, it happened. So for Myrna will be reading Keith Forsyth, Marv Borgman, and I'm not going to tell you who the other one is. And I have Nina with Debbie Klingel-Smith, Barney Sissel, Kenneth Norman Cook, Pia Gosh, Stanley William Shura. I don't know if you got any more than that, Nina, but that's what you got so far on my list. We have Christine with Vandita Darney, Paul Griffiths, Johnny J.P. Lee, her number one fan. Let us not forget. We can't forget that. And some others, I'm not too sure. And I have Marius van Wyk, Myrna Dupree-Badgerow, Nina Thilo, and the Heart Song Poet. That's who I have. Well, my camera looks different again tonight. Charlotte Rains, hello. You're the only one I see. I don't even see Christine there, Charlotte. But I'm glad you've put something up because now I know you're there. That is brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And I have a lovely little poem of yours, Charlotte, that I'd like to read tonight as well. I'm going to start the show with that poem actually. It's a beautiful little poem. And it's called Pretty in Pink. Hi Christine, lovely seeing you there. Don't see a camera, but I see you there anyway. Just hope cameras start to appear, really, because I'm not seeing any so far. Pretty in Pink by Charlotte Rains. She sits on a swing in her pretty pink frock, lost in a young girl's thoughts, dreaming the dreams of princess and prince, all time to her is lost. She closes her eyes and smiles a smile that could melt many a heart, remembering the bow that asked for her hand, but she chose not to depart. So here she sits in her pretty pink frock, still dreaming away her days, never knowing her prince had come, and she'd foolishly sent him away. That's a lovely, beautiful one. I'm seeing something coming up here saying, the Dear John Show, hello. How has that happened? That's absolutely amazing. Amazing. Wow. I'm not touching anything, guys. It's not from my hand. God, there's some strange things happen in this world. They really do. Give you a couple of quotes from Myrna. Hello, Diane Reid Burgess. How are you? Charlotte, you are most welcome. And thank you for allowing me to read it. I am absolutely chuffed with myself. But you know, I can't even remember if I asked you. And if I didn't, I sincerely apologise. But your poems are just too beautiful to pass by. Love your poetry. Myrna, quote for the week ahead, just to get us all started off. Oh, I'm delighted to hear that, Diane. Absolutely delighted. We are all but grains of sand fallen from our Creator's hand. And the second one, to truly find ourselves, we must open the doors to our soul. We really must. Really and truly, we must open the doors to our soul to find even ourselves. Hard to believe. Now, the poem, the big poem, and I'm going to read this one. This is something totally different to what I've read before, or we have, among us, read before. And it has some background as well. And it's from the Heartfelt Poet, or the Heart Song Poet. And I'm going to read this background to this poem beforehand. I asked the lady to give me some information of herself. And I wanted, this is a very deep poem. It's beautiful though, really and truly. And it says, "Hi John, just a few little lines about me. If you wanted to share them among your listeners." Yes, I want to share them among my listeners. The survival of the human spirit, where I refused to be broken by the hand that tried to break my identity. It's also the story of incredible loneliness, sadness, and suffering, even to this day, where my mother and my family still blame me and the child that I was for my father's sins. I am the mother of two beautiful teenage girls who I raised as a single mum. They are my greatest achievement in life. I have always been a dreamer and believer of romance and love. I am sure you would know that if you have read any of my other poetry. I feel things deeply and authentically. I am the Heart Song poet. I'm going to go onto my laptop for this one because I need bigger writing, believe it or not. And it's called My Confidant and Friend by the Heart Song poet. The memory is vivid today. As a child, I sat playing in the dirt with my raggedy doll, my only companion and confidant. Oh, the secrets her little ears heard. We hid together out of sight and out of mind. As I designed a perfect outfit for my confidant to wear, we sat together talking about the fashions in Paris. She did not care that her dress was not made of silk. She found the stories printed on the folds of her skirt entertaining. Everybody would be dazzled by her gown made from old newspaper. Oh, the dreams we would dream, my confidant and I, as my tears drip onto the ground, turning the dirt to mud. I pretend I am a skillful chef. I lovingly prepare my friend and confidant scones and jam. With tea in our pretend bone china cups, we sip delicately. We chat and giggle about the simple things. My giggle falters as I look at my dirt-filled nails, my dirty tear-stained face reflected in the broken piece of mirror, my bare feet muddy, my clothing stained. I whispered a thought into her little ears. Let's run away from this pain. Let's have the wind in our hair. I cannot bear this indescribable pain any longer. I try to be happy, so nobody guesses. Nobody guessed my shame. Only you know, my little friend. Your knowing eyes stare back at me. They know that I am hurting. Oh, hush, my little friend of mine. Let me dry your tears. Don't cry for me. I am strong. I will be okay. Yes, I see you looking at the bandage on my wrist. Don't look at that scar, little friend. That scar to my pain. It was a moment of hopelessness that got away on me. But life is too short to waste on hopelessness. I have been given a million sorries, all written with a graphite pencil. Each and every one rubbed out by the hand that wrote them. Each one taken back by the mouth that spoke them. I plead my plea with tears in my eyes. Please stop. Please don't. Please, please, please. With my eyes like saucers looking out of my shocked face. With the echo of why on my quivering voice. With the echo of shame, I whisper quietly to myself. Who is going to save me? Somebody, please save me. Please, please, please. But nobody comes to save me. With determination in my heart, with defiance in my stance, I make my plea to the powers that be. All the while shaking with fear and shame. Oh, my little confidant and friend, I am scared. Hold my hand. I feel stronger knowing you are with me. The thing with truth is that it is not always welcomed with open arms. I am branded as troublesome to cover the lies. I will show no weakness. You will get no tears from me. I shout the words, no more, no more. I scream my pain out into the air. Why? But no answer is given. Only sticks and stones are thrown my way. I turn and walk away, one foot in front of the other. I am bruised from all those sticks and stones, but those bruises will fade with time. With each step forward, I feel a lost confidence returning. With each step forward, I start to believe in myself. The road in front of me stretches further than the eye can see. But with one foot in front of the other, I continue holding the hand of my confidant and friend. She tells me that my road will not be easy, that people I meet will not always understand me. As I have hidden my scars deep, she looks at me, my confidant and friend, with those knowing eyes of hers. Don't be scared of your scars. Don't you dare feel ashamed about them. They are the scars to your beautiful. There will be times when you question your scars. You will not understand them. You will sit in confusion. But stand tall. Step forward and enjoy every moment. These moments fly by quicker than we realise. Yes, the memories are vivid today. It has been a while since they knocked on my door. I hear them knocking. Knock, knock, knocking. Usually I turn the lights off like nobody is home. But this time the lights are on. I open the door and let them in. There is nothing to fear here. They are just distant memories. They cannot hurt me. They are my beautiful scars, and I have learned to love them. So I thank you, my confidant and friend. This heart song poet is thankful. Well, guys, just when you think you got problems in your life, something like that jumps up and bites you. Doesn't it just? Wow. I keep getting a notification from the Dear John show, sad but beautiful. And it ain't me. It is a wonderful piece, Christine. And like I said at the start of the thing itself, I didn't have all the information until very late. And to put the information in, that's why I had to give the little readout at the start of it to let everybody know what it was about. Hello, Marina, welcome. John Burke. Hello, John. I got your soldier, by the way. He's getting shot at dawn. But, yeah, he was for getting off his plinth. He's been put down. Oh, thank you, Diane. It is a great piece. It's an absolute wonderful piece. And that's why I said it's not something we have read out before. Ah, Nina. It's you saying all those lovely things. Ah, how beautiful. There I thought the Dear John show was talking to me itself. God, told you. Oh, most welcome, Jennifer. Most welcome. It is one deep piece, and I'm sure there are so many out there in this world that can relate to that piece that's just gone by. Ah, really and truly. Heartbreaker. And yet, the uplifting in it itself, and the hope, and the going forward. Wow. There's so much inside of that one piece. It is absolutely unbelievable. Fantastic. I'm going to go in onto my little button here, and I'm going to add, let me see, who can I add? I'm going to add this lady. Add. It works now. Just bear with me and see if anything happens, guys. I really don't know, to be honest. It does. This is how it works now. I don't need a green camera anymore by the looks of things.
Yeah, you
my
added
twin. We're all in blue. You, me, blue. So, here we go. And tell me now, you're not ready. Or are you ready?
Well, I'm having trouble pulling up the third poem. but I have two of them ready.
Oh, it's okay. So long as the third poem was the one I didn't mention, don't worry about it.
No, actually, that's not the one I didn't pull up.
Oh my God Almighty. Do you know what? You're nothing but trouble, you. Absolute trouble. I love it.
Hey, look, let me tell you what. If you knew how soaking wet I was right now, you wouldn't even be saying that.
You mean you got changed so we couldn't see the wet look? Oh my God. What am I
Well, I
supposed
had
to
no
think now?
choice.
I froze and someone said I frozen. Am I frozen to you, Marna?
No.
No, I've not, have I? Wow.
Well, then I wouldn't know really because I'm so doggone wet.
Oh my God.
Oh, it was storming on the way back home from church. We got
Oh.
wet getting on the bus. We get here and it's kind of went to a like a hard drizzle. So I was able to get out and I'm putting the key in the lock to get it in the house and then it stormed. I'm sure the guys in the bus were dying laughing because I was getting soaked.
Oh yes, oh yes. But you've got three for me this week, Marna, haven't you?
I do have three, except that I'm
Yeah.
having trouble pulling the one up.
So which one are you having trouble with?
Marv Borgman's.
Wow, one of the newbies.
Yes, one of the newbies.
God. If you can't pull that one up, Marna, we're gonna have to board them with the other two. God. They'll
You're gonna
kill
have
us
to
for
what?
this. Board them with the other two.
I know. No, the other two. One of them is Keith Forsythe's, and the other one is I won't mention.
Wow. I like.
The other, no, I'm going to tell y'all. The other one is John's.
Oh my God, not him. Good God
Yeah,
Almighty, when Nina
no,
Thilo hears this, there's going to be killings.
he just keeps popping up.
Oh dear, oh dear.
So we'll start with I'll start with Keith's,
Please, yeah.
and then I'll read yours, and hopefully in the after that I'll be able to pull up Marv's. I don't know what the deal is, but Keith's poem does not have a title, but this will be interesting to read, and I think you'll see why. Okay.
Go on. Give us a go.
Okay. As I dream of cupping her face, I am reminded of her softness. Oh, those luscious curves.
I'm on the
Every
phone.
Huh? Oh,
No, go. Sorry, Marna. My apologies.
okay, I'll start over. As I dream of cupping her face, I am reminded of her softness, of those luscious curves, every nuance lovingly caressed. Her eyes a multicolored fountain, sating my soul's thirst. Her lips kiss mine hungrily, overpowering my hesitation. I am willingly lost in this lover's dream. Torrents of sensation flood me. We move as one to our own drum, to a sizzling crescendo of pleasure. Languorously laying together, my arms around her, her head on my chest, tracing her fingers across my stomach, my hand caressing her damp hair. My eyes open for a glorious sunrise, golden sunlight playing across the sheets, illuminating my angel. My life, my dream, today's treasure. I am yours, always and forever, your loving warrior.
Oh, how beautifully romantic and loving was that?
I hope
Wow.
I did it justice. That was kind of hard
Oh,
to.
you done it lots of justice. You had me in dreamland just then. Hello, Annie Johnson. Welcome in. Lovely to see you here, hon. Absolutely lovely. Marna, what an absolute beautiful piece. You did absolutely do that justice. You did.
Well, thank you. That was kind of interesting, reading that from a guy's standpoint. Yeah.
Oh, from anybody's point, it wouldn't matter whose point. The words of it, the feel of it, the imagery of it was absolutely gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. It makes me want to get married again. You keep doing this to me every week, don't you?
Well, hey, I'm only reading what they send me.
It's not. It's the way you're reading it. So convicted.
Okay.
God Almighty. Did you not know I'm an old romantic? Lord Almighty.
Didn't know that. I didn't know that. Who knew?
There you. Well, I didn't know it either. It's just I keep getting told this. But however.
Now I'm going to read yours. And I'm going to tell you guys, he always goes, oh my God. Let me tell you what, this one really, really touched me. And that's why I had to read it. I had to read it. By the lake of sunset. By the lake of sunset, by your side I knelt, drinking in the beauty of your honeysuckle scent, caressing all your beauty, sating my own soul, thankful for the life I have. Your being here makes it whole. By the lake of sunset, beneath the old oak tree, holding hands together, unworried and carefree, speaking words of silence, nurturing our love, alone in our serenity, watched by the stars above.
Oh man, you done that absolutely brilliant. Thank you, Juan.
I love that
Absolutely,
poem.
thank you. Wow. God, I remember writing that I was madly in love. Just a moment, just a moment.
Well, it reminded me of a moment as well, and I think that's why it touched me the way it did. Um, because now I don't have him here, but I can still it's funny. I take down his urn and I read poems that I've written about him.
Oh, that is so beautiful. Wow.
And it's like I know if people would walk in and they'd from that's really strange, really kind of weird, but you know what? No, he's here. I mean, he's here in body, but in spirit, I know he's not. But I know when I do that, I know he comes down and visits.
Oh, do you know what, man? It is just so beautiful to know that connection exists. It really and truly is.
Oh yeah, look, when
Absolutely.
after the vision surgery, the kid said that Daddy was probably up there going, like I told you this, somebody better somewhere. He's gonna get in trouble,
Oh dear, oh dear.
And the thing is that I can't even deny it, but at the same time, I'm like going, really? You have that to say? Okay, come on.
Well, I guess I do have my moments, don't I, really? Now and again.
But yeah, but no, I still can't pull up Marv, so I
Do
don't
you
know which.
have do you have one of your poems you can pull up?
Um, I don't know.
Oh dear.
Oh yeah, I could. Hang on.
Yeah. Well, why don't you give us one of your poems then?
I will. Okay, 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 okay,
Yeah.
okay. I just gotta pull one up. I'm just gonna pull it up. Let's see. Because on the site I post on, I always save whenever I post one because they send us a poem notice, and I always save.
Hello, Kerry Peanut Quinn. We have a newbie with us, Marna.
Yay!
Kerry Peanut Quinn. Very welcome.
Oh
And
no, Carrie,
everybody,
my
thank you for
cousin.
the compliments and the poetry here in these comments. Sorry, go on, Marna.
No, Carrie's my cousin.
Yeah. Well, there you
Yes,
go.
we
Kerry's
and,
in now
and
with
I'll
us.
tell you how to pronounce his name. It's Carrie P. Nakan.
Nakin. So you don't
Nakan.
pronounce the Q. Yes.
Yes, it's
Nakin.
Nakan.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
French.
not bad for an Irish lad, that. Not bad for an Irish lad.
Yes. No, it's not. It's not. Yes, Carrie's my cousin. We've known each other since childhood, of course. We went to grade school together. We were kind of each other's guardian, I guess. He kind of watched out for me because I was, picked on a little bit because of my blindness, and he was sort of picked on a little bit. So we were each other's guardians, sort of like.
I love it. Hello, Chris
He's the one.
Edwards.
He's
Welcome.
actually the one who brings me grocery shopping and stuff.
Yes.
Oh yeah, we have a good time.
Brilliant.
He likes to make me laugh, and
You
I
just
get it
like
back.
laughing and being made laugh, woman.
He loves to.
You're
He loves to.
spoiled.
Yeah, I'm spoiled. He spoils
Yeah.
me, but I spoil him the same. He'll tell you that.
Oh, Lord.
Oh yeah, I
Not
spoil.
half as much. You got to spoil him more.
Oh no, no, no! I can't spoil him too much. Every now and then, I even make coffee for him. But I always make sure
I'm
that I give him the mug that he won't get brain burn. Because if I
I'm
give
in
him
the
the
wrong
milk,
country, me. I really am. I've got to move somewhere else. Goodness me. Nobody ever makes me coffee, or I'm going to make me own, and it's terrible. It's
look, this
vile.
is what I'm drinking. I'm
So
drinking.
look, God almighty, I'm drinking this coffee. It's killing me.
I go to church in the morning. When I go to church, I fill up my cup when I get my mug, my little muggie here. I fill it up when I get there, and then I fill it up before I go do my welcome ministry by the back door, and then I fill it up again before I go to Bible study. So this is literally my third cup of coffee.
You do like your coffee, Marina.
No wonder I was able to run into the house the way I did.
Yes, exactly. You're full of caffeine, you.
But I still got wet.
Oh, you get no sympathy here, you know that. None whatsoever.
I know. I still can't pull up anything. I think it's with AOL. It's probably with the weather.
No. But I'll tell you, the two you've read absolutely beautifully. Thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely
I
magnificent,
wasn't sure
Marina.
because after being in the rain, my throat was kind of getting, kind of gimpy a little, and so I'm like going, "Oh God, please let me be able to do this."
Well, you've done it brilliantly. Thank you. Absolutely brilliantly.
Thank you.
I know I'm over the moon with mine, and I'm sure Keith is too.
Looky,
Ah, you got him.
I got my dog.
You got your dog. And
Yeah.
by the way, guys, I'm just saying this to all the viewers. Another newbie. We have a newbie on camera as well. How's that? We have no barriers or barricades whatsoever. None whatsoever. And there you go. Kerry's just wrote now. Marna is my angel.
Oh,
There you go.
well, let me see. I'm still trying.
I know you're trying. You're very trying.
I know that. That's my job. I'll say this to Carrie because he probably is still watching. Carrie, that means that I'm giving him a hard time. And I don't want to hear any comment from you because remember, you have an appointment tomorrow.
Oh, Kerry. Whoa. Wow, put your hand out now. This. Oh, yes. Oh, Marna. Live on show. Wow. Talk
Oh no,
about a
I'm
dressing
thinking he has an
down.
appointment tomorrow. Geez, I dropped the phone.
God, you've not fallen on the floor, have you?
Yeah, well, the phone did.
Oh, the phone did.
Got it
Thank
back.
goodness. I'm glad it was the phone, not you. Good God Almighty. You're a risk.
I'm not a risk.
God Almighty. I can't get 911 on the phone over here.
The other dog is looking at you like, what? Come here. You want to come up here too? Looky, this is the other dog.
Exactly. No wonder he's looking at you like, what?
No, no, I figured when I found my daughter and her husband went fishing this morning, and I get a text and she goes, "Are you at church?" And I'm like, "Yeah." She goes, "Okay, I was just checking on you because Mama, we had to pull in at Rouse's, which is a grocery store that's right across the Intercoastal Canal from me." And she goes, "We had to pull in there because the weather was so bad." She goes, "There's branches down all around. It's bad. It was bad at your house." I'm like, oh, okay. So I'm like, all I could think of was, oh my gosh, the dogs are barking at the thunder.
Done only as Marna can do it. Exactly, yes.
Yeah, that's all I could think of was, oh Lord, the dogs are barking at the thunder. Because if they got thunder here like we got at church, oh yeah, I'd have been barking at the thunder too if I was the dog. It was,
I can just picture you. How
oh,
give it all up. Yeah.
and I was in Bible study. Oh my God, they would have been dying if I'd have done that. As it was, one of the guys comes out with, who did something wrong? Sounds like Jesus is upset.
Yeah. It's all that coffee Kerry is or Marna is drinking. Kerry has you clocked up very well. How
No, no,
many
no,
beers
no,
you
no,
had
no.
when you fell?
No, no, I'm not the one who drinks the most coffee. Are you kidding me? They make cappuccino, they make hot chocolate. I just drink good old black coffee. I mean, come on. I don't need any of the.
Oh, Marna do pre-badger. You you've only just been to church. Bless us. Oh my God, bless us.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, I don't know. It might wear off. I'm not sure. I can't make any promises there.
Oh no, please don't. Please don't. Don't
Mm-mm,
change. Not even
mm-mm.
in promise. Good God, no.
Oh no, somebody was telling me that today. Don't ever change. I said, I don't even know how. Y'all stuck with
Oh,
the way y'all have me because I don't even
hey,
know.
we will be stuck with you anytime. You're an absolute treasure. Absolute treasure.
But even my jeans are wet. I'm like going, okay. But they were able when they pulled in, they were able to pull in so I didn't have to walk in the grass to get to my sidewalk. They were trying to get to that I could be as dry as could be. And I'm told the one guy, I said, you stay inside. I can open the door and get out. Do not get out and open the door because I can change when I get in the house. You guys have to wait. So he goes, you sure you got this? I said, I got this. So when I got to the door and I unlocked it, they honked at me before they left. They're a
Annie
trip.
Johnson, thank you for jumping in. Absolutely lovely to see you here. It's been a while. And enjoy dinner with the family. Bye. Annie's got to go. She has a family over every Sunday. They come. It's the one day they all spend together, yeah? They have Sunday dinner together. I think that's a beautiful thing as well. We don't see it here in Europe very much anymore. Um, but the family around the table was always a brilliant, brilliant thing.
Oh, I know.
Do you know, I'm just looking at Joan Burke and Nina Thilo, and the things they tell their families are terrible. Nina used to tell her son that the thunder was the clouds playing bumper cars, like at the fair. I'm glad I never went to the fair with you, Nina,
Well,
whatever that was. And in Ireland, John Burke is saying, we used to say it's St. Peter rolling the barrels of beer. Yeah,
I got to
well,
tell you what my granddaughter told me one time. She was about maybe going on 4, and I was doing daycare for my daughter. That's when my son-in-law was in Iraq and Afghanistan with the National Guard. And we were outside and we were looking at some flowers that were growing, and she told me, she goes, because here they call us mama, we're not nan or grandma, I mean sometimes grandma, but she called me mama. And she goes, mama, you know what? I went, what, Caitlin? She says, flowers, that's leaves with makeup. Like, what?
oh,
Where do
from the
you get
mouths
that
of
from,
babes. Yeah, unpoisoned kids. They say it as they see it in their little minds.
And it was amazing to me that she could pick up you know, that flowers were leaves with makeup. I'm like, oh. For one thing, I'm wondering how in the heck you know about makeup, but I'm not gonna say that.
There you go.
She's something else though. I mean, she's a sweetheart. She really is. She's 16 now, almost 17. Oh, she's gonna be
Oh,
she's gonna be a senior in high school this coming year. I'm not ready for that.
Well, you better get ready rapidly.
I know.
Marla, thank you so much for being with me this
I'm
evening.
still trying to get
You
that other
are
one up,
an
but
angel. If you do get the next poem up, do me a favor. Let me know on text on the screen so
I
we
will.
can bring it in, yeah?
I will.
And I will grab you
You go
back
read.
in.
You go read yours.
I'm going to go and read mine now because I've got one belonging to you, my dear.
Yes, I know.
Mm.
And you know that's
Grains.
my favorite poems I've ever written.
Yes. Grains of sand. I love it. And
Yeah.
our audience are going to absolutely love it.
You know, it's what, like I said, when it's what I feel my legacy is. You know, I don't, I'm not planning to leave these great things. You know, if
Yeah.
I'm one grain of sand and I mix with others, then that's what I was meant to be.
Yes. And all these grains of sand will make their own little beach.
Yes,
Of
right.
course they will. Yeah.
Well, you go
Marna?
ahead and start reading.
Yeah, and you see if you can find your other one and get the other one up. But give me a
I am.
text.
I'm trying to get it.
Yeah, give me a text if you do, yeah? And I'll come straight
I
back to you.
will. It's something with
Love you to
AOL.
pieces. Mwah. And enjoy your trip out tomorrow. You're driving, by the way.
No! He always says that.
Well, Kerry thinks
No,
you
no,
are.
no, 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 no. But let me tell you what he says before you let me go. This is what he tells me. I'll be saying something. He goes, and somebody will say something, and I'll say, well, you know, I can't drive because people know about about my new vision. And I said, I still can't drive. And he goes, oh, I thought you were driving home. That's what he tells me.
He's right.
No, he's not.
Catch you shortly. Love you
He's crazy.
loads.
Okay, I'm doing.
Bye.
Bye.
My superstar every Sunday. Absolutely my superstar. Mine are the pre. Guys, let's see where we can go from here. I'm not reading any more of mine yet. Not just at the moment. I'm not. So let's have a look and see who we can find. We'll have a look now. Who have we got?
Hey!
We have Christine Parker. Hello, Christine.
Hi!
Welcome back.
It's been a long time,
Welcome.
hasn't it? Yes.
God, hasn't it just? Oh
I
my
know, I'm
God.
so sorry.
And look, you're prettier and younger and totally revitalized.
Well, I
Oh my God.
wouldn't quite go that far, John, but we're getting there.
I need a prop now, rapidly.
I'm getting there slowly. I'm still not 100%, but a lot better than I was, yeah.
Oh, but
Still
it's good
coughing
to
and
hear that.
spluttering, but it's much better.
Well, it's much better though, yeah?
Yeah, it was a very bad chest infection, I'm afraid, and it just takes its time to go, you know. It's one of those things. So,
Of course.
yeah, but otherwise,
Not nice, but yes.
yeah, I'm fine otherwise.
Now, you were totally amazed. Paul Griffiths.
I know!
Yes.
I
Paul
can't
Griffiths.
believe
And-
I'm allowed to read a Paul Griffiths
Wow.
piece. Wow.
Yes, exactly.
But
Oh,
if
wow.
you're listening, Paul, it definitely will not be in a Birkenhead accent because I can't do that at all. So
No, it's not even going to be close, Paul.
no, nothing like whatsoever. So
And it won't have any Irish twang, and it will be perfectly understandable.
so he might be very disappointed when he hears it. But there we go. We'll see what he says.
Oh, he'd be doing cartwheels, this fella.
I don't think
Telling you.
is he listening in tonight? I haven't seen him tonight.
He's not with us at the moment, but then again, he works night shift.
Oh, does he? Yeah.
So he's probably, I'm not sure which way it works, but I think his shifts actually move
Yeah.
to the nights he's actually working. So he could be a night shift tonight.
Okay.
But don't worry. Don't worry, Christine. He will let us know.
I'm sure he will. Yeah. I don't doubt that for a moment.
No, not
He
at all.
definitely will. Yeah, he definitely will. So,
So,
yeah.
who have you got for us tonight?
I've got 6 tonight. You give me a lot to do today. So I've got 6 different
Terrible.
people. I'll just get them up and tell you who they are, if my computer will come on. Keelan Beam, Jeanette Nelaroux, The Poetry of the Dark Angel, who is Sharon Sinclair Tullis, Johnny Peely, of course, Vandita Darnay, and Paul Griffiths. So I've got 6 to do tonight.
Vandita is here every week with us. Hello, Vandita. She's just, actually, as I said, here she comes.
Oh, lovely, great, yeah, lovely.
And she said hello to you and I, and to everybody in the group.
Yeah.
Vandita's here with us tonight.
Great.
I love her pieces as
Yeah,
well. I love them
beautiful.
all.
Absolutely beautiful.
Absolutely love them all.
Gorgeous images and, very, very lovely. I love them too. I think they're great.
Yeah.
Very
I
nice.
got one lady as well, and I think I need to send these ones to you. It's a lady called, oh my God, I'm gonna get sick. What was her name? Balvina. Balvin.
Uh-huh.
Balvin Chima.
Mm-hmm.
And wow, I remember when we first read together, Christine, on the show, and we would talk about the spiritual poetry like Johnny's and that. There's everything, the vibrancy of these poems that she writes, the spiritual touch, everything is in there. It's beautiful, beautiful writer, yeah? So I will be sending you poems belonging to Balvin.
Yeah,
because
great.
You know how to put that spirituality across in the poems, yeah?
I hope so. I'll try. I try my best.
You've done it before, woman.
Yes,
You've done it before.
I do my best. What's your weather like in England at the moment? It's scorching here.
Steaming. Absolutely steaming.
It is here
It is horrible outside, and it's even worse inside because the house is not letting go of the heat at all. It's just absorbing it like a sponge.
It is here.
It's absolutely horrific.
It's quite humid.
I'm not acclimatized to this, Christine.
No, I'm with 30 degrees even now. We've had 2 thunderstorms this afternoon, but with no rain at all. And we're supposed to be having some thunderstorms this evening. We desperately need some rain. Desperately. So I'm flying again.
In Warrington this morning, I think it was 26, 27.
Oh, we're 32.
There is no breeze whatsoever. No. It is just stagnant.
No.
And the sun is just beaming. It is absolutely, it's that sickening, your tummy turns a little.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible.
Yes, it's not my
weather. You can't stand still. No.
It's not my weather at all. I'm just dripping all the time. I'm here with my fan, I'm fanning myself and talking to you just to try and keep cool here. So it look like the lady of the guy here with the fan. But it's just keeping me cool because I'm so hot. It's horrible.
Oh. It is absolutely horrific, and it does make you feel sick. It does turn your stomach.
Yeah, it does. Yeah,
it does mine. Yeah, it's absolutely brutal.
It makes me tired. I drop asleep all the time. It's just completely tiring. Yeah.
No, please don't fall asleep now.
Not yet.
Just now.
I'll manage the poems first. I will.
Oh my goodness.
Definitely. But this is a new name that I don't know. Keelan Beam, is he new to you? Is it I guess it's
brand new. Absolutely brand new, yeah.
Yes, I've not known the name before, but great piece, really interesting piece. So shall I read that first? Would you like to
please. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. It's called Creature of Habit. If you stood in the shadow, then maybe you could understand. I am a creature of habit, dwelling without the light. My visions remain imprisoned, isolated in their own right. I can sit staring intently at nothing at all. Considering what you might realize is only a blank wall, I can paint a picture without nothing physical, you see. Malicious intent is so unproductive to me. With just my vision, its only brilliance on this canvas that was once a wall, flamboyant in every aspect, it's divine to all. I can be a businessman or invert a new innovation. I can be a doctor and take on any type of patient, or a wonderful father, loving and patient, proud and understanding husband. The true strength of a man with clear and open mind. There is so much more to understand. I am a creature of habit, a prisoner to all. They can't enslave my mind because I have this wonderful wall. Positive manifestation can often become true with these visualizations. There is so much more greatness to do. I am a creature of habit, dwelling without the light. My visions are my creations, the true measure of power in life.
And it is those creations that can make things so different in themselves. It is absolutely, wow, that's a good one, that one.
It's good, isn't it?
Yes. Yes.
Excuse me.
Absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, very lovely piece, very interesting. So be glad to hear some more of his stuff. That would be nice.
Nina's just telling me now there's an element of rap to Keelan's work, yeah?
Element of
Uh,
rap. Okay.
yeah, to his actual work, yeah?
Right. Okay.
Like I said, he's brand new. I know very little about this guy. Nina came across him. I think two of them. The other one you said it wasn't a name, it was the name of the name they write under, the pseudonym.
The what?
Do you know the other poet you read out? There wasn't a name, and then you said what the name was. LaRue.
Jeanette Nellaroo.
Yes.
Yeah.
Jeanette. Well, this guy Keelan, I have no idea of any of his work whatsoever, except for that one poem. I've not seen anything else of it, but Nina has had a look. And the other one, Jeanette, is Poetry of the Dark Angel, isn't it? Yeah?
No, it's New Utopia.
No? Is it?
New Utopia is the one by Jeanette, yeah. But did you say Keelan's a rapper? Did you say he raps?
A lot of his work, I believe, is rap. Yeah.
We must get him on the show. That would be brilliant.
Get a rapper on the show.
Yeah, get him to come and rap on the show. That would be fantastic. Don't you think?
Hey, rap.
Well, I mean, to get Keelan to do his own rap piece would be brilliant.
Well, yeah. True.
That would be fantastic. Yeah, because
That's a new angle altogether. Yeah.
Yeah, because he would do it in a completely different style if he does.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. But like I said, we don't know if that one was meant for rap.
No.
Because some of his work is rap and some of his work is just straight poetry.
Yeah, I couldn't imagine this piece as a rap, but I mean.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't hear that one rap, even if I wanted to.
No, it's not. I couldn't hear it as a rap. Certainly not in my voice, but maybe maybe it is. I don't know.
Well, listen, that young girl I mentioned a couple of months back, Rosanna J. Eastman.
Yeah.
And I give out the details to YouTube and the music she puts together with many vocalists, and she does a lot. Again, I'm going to speak to Rosanna and ask her, is there an evening on the Sunday when she will be doing some of this that she could come on?
Yeah.
Like pre-rehearsal or whatever, and just give us 5 or 10 minutes of
Yeah.
sound. Yeah. It'd be nice to bring something new.
It'd be different, yeah, something different to the show. Keep the interest going, won't it? Yeah,
well, it's all for the arts, Christine, isn't it?
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you. Definitely.
Brilliant.
So let me read Jeanette's piece now, because this is a lovely love poem. It's gorgeous, very nice, called New Utopia by Jeanette Nellaroo. Sounds French, possibly, but I don't know. New Utopia. My love, let me be the host of hidden riches, of sweet places where silent speech is spoken with inner passion, and your eyes smoulder with red desire like sundowner wine. And I become tangibly naked in different ways when you paint my imperfect body into a masterpiece. My love, allow your emotions to swell and knit your love into mine in plain and pearl. Wrap it up in a hot summer haze. My love, inscribe your name between the swollen hills of my breasts, where our salty sweat mixes and whispers in a strange language. My love, my soul will lift on high waves in primitive worship of you, and I will dance in a kind of religious ecstasy. The glee of every glorified love merges with the birth of a new utopia, and the excitement of not knowing to whom next one will whisper sweet words of passion.
And you would read something like that when I don't have a fan. Thank you so much, Christine.
Well, just to get you going. We have to get you going, don't we?
Get me going. It's got me going.
I knew you'd like that.
Wow.
Lovely, huh?
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is
That's absolutely beautiful. Yes.
Could have been one for erotic night as well, like the one that Myrna read. Those could have gone for an erotic night.
Yes.
That seems to have dropped off a bit now, does it?
Well, there's been no demand.
Okay.
So
yeah.
we did ask them to send in and everything else. It didn't happen. So
Yeah, so
I mean,
just include
we already
the show and
already run 20 mile a time to pick up poetry, and
yeah.
nobody sent in. And when they do, they'll definitely have it read. But
Yeah.
until then,
Well, I mean, some of them are what I would consider erotic poetry anyway. That one certainly has a touch of it. And the one that Myrna read too. I mean, lovely, absolutely beautiful.
Yes, two
Beautiful
beautiful
love
pieces. Yeah.
poetry, and yeah, definitely. Yeah. So who's Sharon Sinclair Tullis, the poetry of a dark angel? This is someone new to me as well.
And me.
This one I think that Nina has sent through, isn't it?
Yes, this
Yeah.
the two are Nina Keelan and this one you've got now.
Yeah.
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 The two brand newbies. Yeah.
Yeah. This is quite remarkable as well. I like this one very much as well. So I'll go ahead and read that one now. It's called To Die in Sadness. Excuse me a moment. I'm still suffering a little bit with my chest. So here we go. To Die in Sadness. To die is my fate if I stay. His words cut to my core. Each word tears and rips my soul from my aching body. Every word crippling me, brings me to my knees. Every tear I shed has no value to this silver-tongued beast. Forever lost in my darkness, the demons feast. I fall further into the shadows. That is where my comfort holds me. His words linger in my head, each one cutting a layer of my soul from me. Feeling the darkness take hold, I just want to let go. This silver-tongued beast snarls and snaps at me, ripping away the innocence that was once my soul. His cold stare holds no love for the tears I shed. Every memory we made has rotted, our love left to decay, for I pray for the day he opens the door to my cage. So I stay to wander the dark forest alone. I dream of flying on the wings of the crow, far away from what used to be a loving home. Lost in the shadows of my mind, I will stay until these memories and words no longer hurt, and the pain goes away. To die in sadness seems to be my fate, until the day he unlocks my cage.
Wow.
Good, huh?
Isn't it so odd? Love gives us so much of a boost and a feeling, and yet when it starts to die and fade, and things are not what they used to be, we still have no idea how to put them back, or how to repair, or anything else. We just can't. It's nearly an impossibility. Wow.
Yeah.
That is one beautiful piece there.
Yeah, another very good one, like similar to the one that you read earlier a little bit.
Yes.
Which you sent me for last week, if you remember. I've forgotten the lady's name now. With the
Oh, the Heart Song Poet.
Yes.
That's
Yeah.
that's not the name. That's the name I use. Yeah.
Yes, that's
The Heart
right.
Song Poet. Yeah.
The Hands-on Poet. Yes, that's another stunning piece, wasn't it? Wonderful.
Yes, that was absolutely wild. And again, I mean, that's this week we've got about 6 newbies that have not been to the show before, not been read before.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's lovely when you find someone else that has a message to bring out.
Yeah.
Because we all know the messages add up, Christine, to somebody. It doesn't have to be to us, but somebody will be out there that message is meant for. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And something to grasp for hope or for future, for walking forward, as she puts in the poem.
Yeah.
The walking forward. That's the hardest step. When you've been at a standstill for so long.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It's good piece. And big surprise this week from Johnny P. Lee. This is nothing like his usual stuff, or at least not the stuff that I've usually read anyway. Quite different.
I had one for you from Johnny P. Lee from the week you were not going to be with us, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And it's been sitting in Messenger. And very similar to the ones you usually read for Johnny.
Yeah.
And suddenly, bing, this poem comes up.
Yeah.
From Johnny. And I thought,
different.
Wow,
not at all
this is different for Johnny.
Totally.
And I thought, I'll send this one to Christine, yeah? And I sent it straight on to you. I just copied and pasted.
Yeah.
Wait later for permissions, do you know?
Yeah, yeah. Now this will be very interesting because there's only one rhyme, you guys, in this whole poem at the end of each line. Just one rhyme. It's really, really interesting. So see what you think. This is by Johnny P. Lee and it's called to cure the Monday blues. Covering my face with a tattered rag, I peep at her in her scalloped silk dag, signalling by waving a bushy tail wag, showing my left eye with a droopy sag, right hand holding a small doggy bag. I watch the store, hanging a price tag, displaying its books, paper and mag, hushing the missus by zipper and gag, pull the curtains, push tables and drag, till exhaustion leads a walk in zigzag. A customer maliciously dangles a hag, his wife repeatedly snigger and nag, both returning home with a folly jet lag. Lack of sleep makes him a tobacco fag. Go jump off a cliff onto that rocky crag.
You know what we usually say? We could read a poem, or we could just put one up, written out, and say who the poet is without a name.
Yeah.
We'd have never guessed that was Johnny
No,
P. Lee.
never. I would
There's
never,
no way.
never in a million years. No.
No. And
No.
that's what I loved about it being so different. But I was attracted to the name in the first place.
Yeah.
The Monday Blues.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody says I don't like Mondays.
Don't we?
And you got to start the week somewhere. They'd say the same if you started on Wednesday, wouldn't they?
Yeah. It's only what you think, really, isn't it? We start the day anyway, the week any day of the week we like, can't we?
Exactly. Well, we've been saying for a long time we want something a bit witty and everything else. And Johnny just jumps up and lashes that one out. You know,
really
absolutely
nice.
Fantastic.
Yeah, interesting with just that one little rhyme at the end, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that
absolutely.
One little tag at the end.
Oh yeah.
Great.
And we land on the crag. It makes no difference if she nags. Yeah.
Doesn't make any difference at all. She can nag as much as she likes. We ain't going down that road. Yeah.
Oh Lord.
So now from the sublime to the ridiculous, or the ridiculous to the sublime, probably.
Sublime.
That way round is better. This is another, the love poem, and this is from Vandita Dhani, and she paints such beautiful pictures. This is really gorgeous. It's called The Memory of Love. I recollect the memory of true love, the gentle summer breeze caressing the cool waters of my soul, a faint melody hummed by the babbling brook. Hark! The soft moaning of trees arouses a pulsating curiosity as I reach out to touch their tremulous branches, waving at me feverishly. My heart abounds in joy. The simmering passions awaken as I tread the path of love, exploring each magnetic memory, so profound. My pulse throbs as the restless rushes burst through my senses. I feel the blood tingling through my veins, injected with sensations beyond control. I search for my beloved in the canopied wood, where the wild flowers smell like wine, the fleeting shadows cast a spell, and my heart is eclipsed forever.
Do you know what, Christine? The canopied wood. Isn't it? I love that line itself.
Lovely expression, yeah.
We have a great thing about forests, whether we've ever stepped inside of one or we've just heard about forests. And it's like, it's something you need to do at some stage. Walk into a forest and find that silence where your own voice doesn't even count in your own head.
So rare. So rare these days to be able to find silence anywhere, isn't it?
It is, isn't it?
That barely exists. If it exists at all, At all,
yeah. We've become so loud, haven't we? We've just become white noise. That's it, just white noise all around us.
It is, definitely. Very much so.
Another beautiful poem by Vandita.
Yeah, wow. Gorgeous. Very, very lovely, yeah. So now we come to the Bard of Birkenhead.
Oh, yeah.
I should enjoy reading this today, although I'd love to hear this again in Paul's own style, because he has such an amazing accent, when he reads. So this will be quite different from the way that he reads, but it's called King of Nothing at All.
Yes.
Have you read it?
I know.
You have?
Love it.
Yeah.
Absolutely love
it. I love it too, yeah. Great. I like a lot of his work. It's great stuff. I wear a crown of broken promises, trapped in a web of intricately woven lies, nothing but a prisoner in my own kingdom, watched over by black widow eyes. My time is nearly over, 'tis coming to an end, quartered over by jackals and subjects, but I am bereft of friends. Have I outlived my welcome to rule on, past my stay? As the vultures circle above me, their numbers growing by the day. My realm lies on the borders of sorrow. My legacy would be nothing but shame. When I die, nobody will mourn me. The chronicles will not mention my name. I could have been a good and noble king, but instead I ruled purely by fear. Now I sit at the head of the table in a great hall, with nobody here. My advisors fail to advise me. They are merely gestures and fools at my court. I could buy the hearts of men with a small bag of gold, but loyalty cannot be bought. There's no such thing as a good man these days, and I shall make all of the usurpers pay. As I try to hold on to this tenuous grip of power, but I can feel it all slowly slipping away. Time, it is said, waits for no man, and it shows no courtesy to even a king. I was chosen by God to rule over this land, but destiny does not mean a thing. God gave me the power to judge over life and death. I held lives in the palm of my hand, but even my great castles and kingdoms will one day all crumble to sand. Now the sands of time slip through my fingers as I await for the reaper to call. Kings can topple like dominoes when great empires rise and then fall. As the dirty rascals line up on the streets to mock me, they know I am on my way down. For I am a king of nothing at all, and heavy does sit the crown.
Paul tells, as Nina says, always tells a story.
Yeah.
In everything he writes, there's a story, there's an intent, there's a meaning in every one that he writes. And no matter which one you go to through his whole array. And I've come across him on open mic lately, where he'll post a video of
that's right.
being on open mic. And I've watched a couple of them. Great nights, absolutely great. I've never done one, but
you should.
absolutely great to watch.
You should do one yourself. You should.
I like watching, Christine. I just love watching. I like taking in everything else. Do you know what I mean? That's around me. I like that. Yeah. People like going to concerts and stuff. I don't do that stuff. But I could sit at an open mic and listen to the poetry being read,
Yeah. No, he does it quite a bit, I think, Paul.
He does, yeah.
It's some pub, I think, that they go into to do it, isn't it? And I saw a video too once on YouTube. Yeah, so, yeah, brilliant.
Oh, he likes being in the pub, does Paul.
I'm not surprised. A man from Birkenhead, he's bound to.
Give him a night off and he's away.
No, klar, of course.
Oh, Blackbird Fly is our Paul, yes.
Yeah, he's a character, isn't he? He's
definitely, he is, absolutely.
Definitely a character, yeah, great. So that's it, that's all 6, done, finished.
Wow.
Did well, didn't
that was quick. That's out the flying past. Yeah. Absolutely flying past.
Managed to keep you quiet for a few minutes, didn't I?
Absolutely. Knocked the stuffing out of me, why don't you? Yeah. Oh, Christine, it's absolutely brilliant having you back. It's great to see the whole team back together. And this is the first night in a few weeks.
Good to be
back. We've had the whole team on together, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry it was so long, but I really just had no voice at all. You know, it was not good. It's still a bit scratchy, as you can hear, but we're okay. Yeah.
We've watched Nicole. As I said, we're strong. We've grown brilliant as a team. And we will continue to grow in strength. And that's what we're all about. Being there for each other. Being around each other. Yeah?
Exactly.
And that's what matters. Yeah.
Yeah. It is.
So on my 4 weeks off, you're on.
No, I can't do the small talk like you can, John.
Oh, no. I knew that was coming.
I think it's going to have to be Nina. If it's going to be small talk, it's going to have to be Nina and Mirna. I think they're much better at it than I am. So
Okay, then. I'll stick Nina in. I just won't appear.
yeah, and I'll stay in the background. That's fine. That's absolutely fine.
Oh, now you're going to have to banter with her now. That's it. I'm not doing it all. No way. Christine, thanks a million.
You're welcome,
Have a
sweets.
brilliant week ahead.
Will do. Yeah, I'll do my best.
I will see you on. Oh, now, before you go.
Yes?
Now, next Sunday, I've got a problem next Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah? I have a job in Manchester. Unfortunately, the job doesn't finish until 7. Yeah? So I can't go live because I'll be in the middle of getting lifted and shifted from where I'm at back into Warrington. Yeah? So we're looking at a 8:30, possibly 8:45 start for the show next Sunday.
Okay.
Now, I don't want to put you up because I already know there's an hour difference between the two, yeah?
9:45
So
for me.
my 9:45 is 9:45 for you, yeah?
Right, yeah.
So, what do you... How is that for you? Is that too late?
Sorry, you went dead for a minute. Sorry. Yeah.
Sorry, is that too late for you?
No, it's probably okay. I mean, I may still be around. I probably will. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, is that okay?
Yes, it should be. Should be okay.
Oh,
yes.
thank you.
I just hope I
Thank
don't
you.
forget because I've got a memory like a sieve, so I might well forget.
So, I'll put it on the end of each poem I send over to you.
Okay, put it. Hello, Christine. Don't forget we're on late.
Oh, yes.
So I'll be looking and thinking, "Where's John? I can't get him at 6:30."
Exactly, can't find him anywhere.
And then
in
suddenly it'll
Manchester.
dawn on me that it's meant to be later. Yeah, so that's no problem. It's okay.
Oh, thanks
No
a million.
Just in
Christine,
case
have a
anything,
lovely week ahead.
if anything that should happen in the family, I will let you know. As you know,
Please let us know. Yeah, be absolutely for that. Ah, thank you.
Yeah, okay.
Well,
but
good
otherwise,
luck
fine.
and best wishes.
Yeah, thank you. Okay. See you soon.
Love you to bits.
Bye, darlings.
Take
Bye,
it easy,
everybody.
Christine.
Love you to see you all
Bye-bye,
again. Bye.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye. Ah, there's Christine back with us now. Back with us. First time. What a difference. Didn't she read those beautifully, guys? Absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you so much. The Watch Mail. Well, I have someone else to come on to be with me here. And I'm going to bring her in now, actually, because this will drive her nuts. She'll think it's too soon, but... So let's see. Who have we got coming in now? It's Nina Thilo.
Hello.
Hello, Nina Thilo.
Hello.
Well, there's 2 acts to follow. Marna Dupree
I know,
Badgell,
what-
Christine
What
Barker.
do I do with that?
I don't know. I'm going to have to follow it as well. I've really dropped myself in it now.
It's about time you did some
Really?
reading. You let everyone else do the work.
Is that what you call it? I still have. I'm only thinking now. I've only done 2 of our quotes for the week ahead, but I thought I'd save this one for you coming on the screen with me because this is one you've sent me.
Right.
Yeah, this is one you sent me.
What? Oh.
I found it now. It's absolutely brilliant.
Hello.
Well done, Jen.
Everybody's saying hello. Hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
It's my audience.
Who's everybody? Oh, look, I don't believe it. I knew that would
Oh.
happen. I just knew that would happen. I have everything prepared and ready. Then all of a sudden I've got nothing. Oh my God. Can you
Normal then?
believe this? It's all gone. Not a thing left whatsoever. Every piece of it finished, gone. I did have it, Nina, but
Yeah.
I'm sorry, it's no longer there. It's gone. Where has it gone? I swear to God, I had it right here on a page right in front of me. Ah, I do have it. You see, I took the page out. God, shouldn't be taking pages out, John. Well, here we are anyway. Here we are. Quotes for the week ahead. This one came in from Nina, guys. I think she's trying to tell me something in a roundabout
No,
way.
you
I
know
got
what?
the message.
You know what? It's actually for me when I'm dealing with you.
Oh God, you know what? You could be a minister, you could.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He who has so little knowledge of human nature as to seek happiness by changing anything but his own disposition will waste his life in fruitless efforts. Now you tell me how that's about you when it says his all the way through. Yeah, exactly.
But it's true, isn't it?
But we do honestly. We go through life, and we moan about this and we moan about that, and we
Yeah,
criticize this and we
yeah,
criticize that. But we never ever. We always try to. I'm changing.
yeah,
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 but you're changing just you, but not to the conditions
yeah.
around you. You know, it's
It's always,
getting yourself integrated with what's there.
I think the essence of that one is it's you know, we're something's wrong or somebody's upset us or something's happened, and is it 100% them, or do we need to look at ourselves? I think is what that one's saying, isn't it? It's you know, when
Yeah,
you go around trying to change everything and everybody except yourself, there is something very wrong.
yourself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And when we change ourselves, it's basically to change ourselves for ourselves. We don't look at the bigger picture.
No, no. Well,
It's not ourselves for ourselves we need to change. We need to change ourselves for the bigger picture.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah.
unfortunately, there are a lot of self-absorbed people out there, aren't there?
Yes.
um,
Yeah.
so yeah, learning to change to the better, really. Yes, Chris, indeed, introspection, absolutely. Which is why we.
Oh, don't start using big words. No, I don't even have a
Oh,
thesaurus. I'll have to Google that
you
now.
flummoxed him now, Chris.
That's it. Google, here we come.
I used
Introspection.
montage on him the other day. That floored him.
Yeah, that's a beautiful word, that
Montage.
is. And I've even forgotten what it means, but I don't mind. It's still
I'll
beautiful.
remind you
It's still
later.
lovely. Yes, please.
Right, you're going to read?
Am I going to
Yeah.
read? Why would I want to read?
Just thought you might. It's a poetry show and we read.
Oh, God. Wow. There you go. Now it's your turn. I've only got 3 now.
Okay, here is my lady. This is Debbie. Oh, I had palpitations when you said to me that you were going to read Debbie. I nearly had kittens.
Ooh.
This is the lovely Debbie Klingel-Smith, and it's called Inside of You. Again, it's full of everything, really. I want to live in Debbie's world. We've said this before, haven't we? You and I are vying for a space in Debbie's world, aren't we? Or in her dream, at least.
And she's not yielding anything because she's staying there on her own. Yeah.
So this is Inside of You. Last night, I dreamt of you again. We were together in a dark room, darker than dark, pitch black, undulating and fluid, but for the few solid things radiating light from an unknown source. An overstuffed chair next to an end table, a mirror on the wall reflecting nothing, a coat and a hat hanging mid-air. The invisible watcher that appears, sometimes in dreams like this, a surging phosphorus light. Do you sometimes see him too, radiating a self-contained feeling? We floated in the inky black liquid, drawing closer than close. As you drew me into your embrace, I placed my head on your chest. I melted instantly. I wanted to hear your heartbeat. There was nothing but silence for a moment, then a slowly building whoosh, then music, ancient primordial harmonies, all blending and coalescing into one breathless hum, never ending. My ethereal calico, that cosmic universal crooning of all things vibrating into and out of quantum existence, then nothing. Lilith heard it the next morning when she awoke. I did not. This is how I know when something is true, when something is real. My ethereal calliope comes to one of us, whether it is Lilith who hears it or whether it is me. It does not matter, because we are the same soul. No words were spoken at breakfast. Inside of you, you were vast. As I drifted around in you, I could see horizons of sunsets on pearl pale oceans, sunrises from mountain tops with clouds, drifting on the wild, 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 stealing the spears of starlight, shaping them into monstrous rainbows and murmurations of multitudes of crows, blacker than black, scintillating and splitting the veiled blues and purples and greens of their plumage as they danced on the air, forming the serpentine shapes of griffins and dragons, lambent angels and dusky demons, a bejeweled palanquin transporting sylphs to some obscure destination on high. then swooping towards the feral-eyed crone waiting off in the distance, her familiars, crows. At first, a few years ago, I only felt you as a lingering semblance, your scent wafting momentarily on the air, or Lilith saying to me as we bent into a blazing bonfire, shaking with cold, "He's here, he's saying your name," and me desperately whispering back, "Where?" The fire's fiery tendrils reaching for what? Then snap, leaving silhouettes, traces of slits through the inky blackness, trails upon bleak infinitesimal trails, and palimpsests spelling out some arcane ritual over and over on the dark. A ritual I did not understand. Then the shooting star, there you were. But now I dream of you. I dream of you climbing stairs, always a few stairs ahead of me. You move slowly and I move fast. But I never catch up to you. Opulent dreams of you standing on hand-carved balconies, shaped into living hazel trees that sway in an absent breeze. Of you placing in my hands a grand encrusted key of druid gold, shaped into a living dragonfly, a key to nowhere. One morning I awoke having just dreamt you placed on my pillow next to my cheek a luminous white card. Inside the card was a pure white feather, and embossed on the card in your elegant hand were the swirling words, "In the end, all things end. My secret keeper, I'm sorry." It was a dream so real that when I awoke, I lifted my hand to reach for a card that did not exist. A tattered visage effervescing into thin, airy air. We hold the universe within us.
Wow.
I know.
Debbie just brings you there, doesn't she? You just go
Everywhere.
You're gone.
Everywhere, anywhere, nowhere. She's just,
wow.
Yeah. And
She
I think if she hasn't dreamt it, it's happened to her. She lives in another universe. She really does.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And it doesn't matter which of her poems or pieces you read. You go on a journey.
Yeah.
At the time she's on that journey,
Yeah.
and that takes some
But
doing
again,
because she can keep you on that journey.
Yeah, it's one of those where you need to read it again and again and again, because every time you read it, you see something else in there.
Yeah. There's that much imagery there.
Yeah, the visualization of it is incredible. It's just, yeah, we spoke about this actually, didn't we? Starting from this week, we're going to put the written form of the poems up in the comments at the end of the show.
In the comments themselves, from all the poems we've gathered,
yeah. So if people want to read the poems for themselves, having heard them on the show, then they'll be available in the comments for them to read at their leisure again.
Yeah.
So that one will be.
That's what I'll do after the show now. All that's on my emails. The ones that have gone to the email,
Yeah.
Excuse me, I'll try and share them over to the comments box. Yeah. So all I'll do is I'll just copy them, paste them over into the comments box on the other side, and they'll be there to be read. But it's a great idea to give them the same piece. They've heard it. Then they can have their own voice in their own head, reading it their way.
Well, it kind of came from because a friend of mine messaged me and she said to me that she wanted to read Debbie O'Connell's piece for herself again, which I think you read either last week or the week before.
Yes, last week. Yeah.
So I was able to send it to her so that she could read it herself. And it kind of gave me the idea, and I thought, well, yeah, maybe people would like to do that. Actually, maybe people would not rather than, but as well as listen to us saying them, then just read them for themselves, at their leisure at a later date. So they can take it away with them, then, can't they?
Absolutely. Yes, Marna, you can do that too if you want to, hon. Absolutely brilliant. Saves me a bit of work.
They might get there.
Absolutely. You're not getting a break at all. Forget about it. And Ed Clinton, I'm delighted you could get us back. Absolutely chuffed you're back again. Ed lost us and he's back again.
Oh no.
So we have little goggles from the Magic Roundabout getting stuck in here again this week. We have them every week, don't we? For some reason or other.
Yeah. Okay. So
you never told me how many you've got for this week. How many have you got?
As many as I choose. None of your business.
That's smarted.
I don't know, 5 or 6, I think. Yeah, I think it's 5. I think it's 5. But if I scroll down now, I'll lose my place. So don't make me do that.
I'm glad I come to this show. I'm absolutely glad I come to.
I know you are. Where else can you get abused for free?
Well, if you've got 5, it means you've got to do another one now.
Go on then.
So follow that. Now you'll have to.
I've got to do.
It was a good slap, Chris. It's a long time since I've been slapped, mate, but that was a good slap.
He loves it, Chris. Okay, so this is from the gorgeous Barney Sissel, and it's called House on Donegan Square. There is a house in the south of town, there on Donegan Square. Us 4 boys upon our bikes once rode there on a dare. Nestled in a tangled woods, an old iron rusted gate. The faded house lay just beyond, the day was getting late. The old wood porch was worn and bare, and sore in need of paint. Then opening the front door there, he darn near made us faint. A legend that was passed in school about this haunted house, that anyone who dared walk in was never to walk out. But we were brave, or so we thought. We'd have a look and see if there really lived the ghost of old man Tom McGee. He started walking towards us. His face was old and spent. The others took off in a rush. I crashed into the fence. I came to in his rocking chair, a cookie and glass of milk. Wrapped around my forehead was a dressing made of silk. He came and sat across from me and gave the slightest grin. Young fella, be more careful next time you wander in. He told me of his history. He'd fought in both great wars. He showed me his old army coat. The collar had 4 stars. He told me of his one true love and how he missed her so, and how he loved to fly fish on the river down below. It's been 3 years since that eve, and we became good friends. We fly fish almost every day. That's where the legend ends. That old house on Donegan Square is haunted, that's for sure, by love and friendship living there, and the joy of life that's pure.
Beautiful piece.
I know, isn't it gorgeous?
When you meet the older generation, they're made to feel in this day and age that they're worthless.
Yeah.
When you sit down and you speak to them and the stories they tell you, you've not lived.
Well, I spoke to Barney.
You've not even existed.
I spoke to Barney, and he said that was true. That it was him and his friends on their bikes when they were kids. Yeah, I've done.
And it's the fear of somebody back then was eccentric. You know, and that was taken for being nutty or fruity. You know,
we've all had a haunted house in the street or at the top of the hill, or haven't we? That, you know, if there wasn't one, we invented one as children, didn't we? So.
Well, as Ed has just said now, that's lovely. It's brought them back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it brings you back.
Yeah.
Into pieces of your life as you grew up. I mean, what I love about the show is we got so many different generations on here. There's no particular age group or anything else. It's just 2 poems. Yeah. And it's lovely that you can have those memories brought back even through the words of poetry. It's absolutely fantastic.
Well, this is it. I mean, poetry can and should be ageless or timeless, really. And like, for instance, we had the 15-year-old poetry on last week, didn't we? And
yes.
Then, you know, we're global, we're worldwide. You know, there is no limit to poetry, really, is there? There's no boundaries from any point of view, from age, from sex, from religion, from creed, from colour. It's just, it just is. It's words, and they're everybody's, aren't they?
Yeah. And you know, that's brilliant the way you just said that about creed, colour, religion and all that stuff.
Yeah.
We've never had to, or nor would we ever, put any of those descriptions to anything. We take the poem and the person as we find it. Because that's what we find. That's what we should do.
But it's like you said, and again, we've had this conversation because we've said that, like you said, Sandra knows your writing. So if you read something to her, she goes, that's yours. And I think we all have that element of possibly writing in the same-ish style. But that's the beauty of words is that, you know, they are anybody's, they're everybody's, and you can do what you want with them pretty much. And we wouldn't necessarily even have to say who somebody's piece was or if it was a male or a female. Maybe we should do that one week, actually. Maybe we should.
That's a good idea,
Maybe
yeah.
we should read a piece out and then get people to say in the comments whether they think it's male or female, young or old. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Because we already get a prejudged kind of thought about it, don't we? As soon as you hear, oh, this is a piece by, and then you give a male or a female name, we're kind of already, we're prejudging, aren't we? So, yeah.
We'll do that. You know, we'll do that next week when we're doing the readings, yeah?
Yeah.
We won't say until the end of the poem exactly male, female, or otherwise, yeah?
Yeah.
And we'll read the poem. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of surprised people out there when we do say whether it's male or female, yeah?
Yeah. I'm just hoping I'm not going to run out of battery because my screen has just dimmed. So you might lose me.
You are impossible.
Oh, don't you dare, John Kavanagh.
I'm sitting here fully plugged in, you know.
The problem is,
so
I'll tell you why. Because I've been kicked out of the living room so his lordship can watch Formula One. That's why. So my phone isn't...
I should think so too. Yes.
My phone isn't plugged in. That's why. Normally I've got it in and it doesn't matter how long I'm on. But I'm on battery alone at the moment because he's watching Formula One.
Well, it's okay. It's no problem because if you go off, I'll get you back. I'll bring mine back in because mine is found.
Yeah, so if I start
you can go and charge a little bit and I'll get you back anyway.
All right.
So, do you want me to do mine as one now? Another grain of sand.
Yeah.
I love this little one. This is a little
lovely.
beauty, this one is. You've read this one, haven't
have.
you? Another grain of sand. I do. I really like this one. I did. God, where have I put it now? Just give me a second. I won't. Just bear with me, guys.
Up.
Sandcastles fall in fated friction amid crashing waves of benediction. I sit alone on my sandy perch in solemn awe of nature's church. Immersed am I in sweet solitude, while musings plead to intrude upon my quest for mindless bliss. What manner of reflection this? That I must ponder things that were, those events of life that did occur, in a world seen through mere sightless eyes. No bid did I make for compromise. A life of passion and love fulfilled, a thirst for knowledge never stilled. Pain did bring its bitter brew, painting me in sombre hue. Yet baited I was in inner peace, no regrets or blame to seek release. So I'll bid farewell to crashing seas, brush off the sand that clings to me. An imprint of life I will now leave, or maybe a dream in which to believe, to be swept up by each ocean breeze, or washed away in turbulent seas. Years from now on this sandy beach, perhaps a tiny grain's impression will reach, sharing and blending a small part of me with the many grains washed in by the sea. Together we shall build a sandcastle of time to honour the lives we left behind. For we are all but another grain of sand fallen from the Creator's hand. And alone we survive, but together we thrive, no pleading or begging for compromise, if we but trust in the vision seen in fate's eyes. I keep saying it, Myrna, with her lack of visibility over the years, and you look back at when she's written this poem, and the vision in it is, wow, mesmerizing. Absolutely mesmerizing. Absolutely beautiful.
Incredible insight into things, hasn't she? And I don't know. I don't know if that has anything to do with you know, the sight issues that she's had in the past, or whether she would have been like that anyway. But she does see things we don't see. Yeah. Beautiful. Always.
It's absolutely. But I mean, as we always say, Nina, we're in a universe. We're not just in a bubble, a blue bubble or whatever. We are in a universe, part of a universe. We don't understand it. We're not made to understand it. That's my belief. Yeah.
Yeah,
A beautiful, beautiful piece. Thank you, Marna.
yeah,
Absolutely, thank you.
always lovely. And another lovely person who always writes the most heartwarming pieces is Pia Ghosh. Gosh, not you. And this one is called Clown by Pia Ghosh. Oh, Joker, oh clown, what emotions do you hide behind that painted facade, behind that plastic face? What sorrows and fears do you conceal by your antics and funny ways? Won't you let me inside for once with your frightened mind, within your frightened mind, your troubled heart, and let me read your life story right from the start? What kind of a childhood did you have? Was it happy and carefree? Did you chase rainbows with your father and play with him under the sun? Did you catch butterflies and worms with your mother? Did she sing lullabies to put you to sleep? How were your adolescence and youth? Were they adventurous, exciting, and full of fun? Tell me about your school life. Were the teachers abusive or were they gentle and kind? Which pretty girl was your first crush? Is she worth remembering still? How did your first date go? Were you clumsy, nervous, or smart? Have you now a good wife and maybe a young son? Perhaps somebody has broken your heart. You still search for her in the crowds. Perhaps you haven't met your soulmate as yet. You seek her in your dreams. Allow me to wipe your tears, to allay your insecurities and anxieties. Let me enter the gates of your heart and relieve some of the burden that your heavy heart and weary soul carry behind that incredible disguise, behind that perfect camouflage. Oh, my joker, my clown.
Now, she brings that serenity to you, doesn't
Yeah,
she? In her words, I mean, you could never imagine a loud word in her
no,
presence. You know, it's
no. She must
wow.
have the gentlest soul and nature of anybody I've ever come across.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Could not disagree with
And
that.
even if you were in
And
the darkest places and the worst moods, she would just make you feel loved.
oh, she would be the candle total.
Yeah,
1,000,000 watts of candle.
yeah,
Absolutely. Wow.
yeah.
Beautiful piece.
Even I don't know. There's just something about every single piece that she writes, and it's just it makes you feel all warm and fuzzy.
It does,
Yeah,
doesn't it? Absolutely. Yeah. And that again, as we said before, that is a gift from within
yeah,
oneself to be able to
yeah.
bring that out and portray it
I
in the
think it, and
words. Yeah.
I don't mean to assume anything, but I think it comes from somebody that's maybe at peace with themselves, somebody who's in a good
Yeah.
place.
That's it. I'd love to be in that place. It's
So
an
would
absolutely
I.
beautiful place.
Would I?
Wow. Without a shadow of a doubt. I have one from a gentleman you introduced me to, um, called From a Distance.
What, the
And it's
man is?
from Marius van
Oh,
Wyk.
yeah.
Yeah. This one comes, and I I usually shy away from reading Marius because it can get tongue twisting. I'm not saying I love his poetry. His poetry
Because it's old
always has
English,
a
isn't it?
meaning and a message,
Yeah.
and it has a mixture of old English in there. And I'm just hoping I can get these old English
You'll be
words
fine.
because I'm not very good at the good English words, the new English
Come
words.
on.
So you can
You can do
imagine.
it. You'll be fine.
And I love the fact he doesn't continuously write in rhyme.
Mm,
I love something that's out of rhyme because I write in rhyme myself. I like something different,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
And this one was called "From a Distance" by Marius van Wyk. Have I beheld the shrines built to honor sun, moon, stars, the many gods? Hearken to the songs of praise, of exaltation, the words of worship, manifestations of faith, the temples laboured upon to fortify belief, embrace wisdom, looked upon the countenances of the devout, witnessed unconditional, I knew it, obedience. Is that the right word?
Abeyance.
Obedience. Well, there you go, close. Felt the presence of a power much greater than mine self, or anything remotely mortal. Read many a manuscript of divinity, healing, spiritual enlightenment. I, a willing sinner, a doubtful believer. Stood I naked, vulnerable, at my most primitive, before the looking glass. There beheld I what be known to mine own self all along. Willed, wished away foolishly, it was. In every view, every nerve, every fibre of mind being, be it evident, in every thought, deed, contemplative, instinctive. Reluctant be I to admit to it, for favour find I not with many of mine ways. Forsooth, be it none the less the looking glass, or no, ineluctable looking glass, has revealed the stark naked truth of it, that God is alive. Reverence. Deep, deep.
Marius is a giver. Marius is totally, he always has the most beautiful compliments and productive things to say underneath people's posts. And he doesn't post that often, but when he does, they come in with a punch. They really do. They say something. Yeah, he's another lovely soul.
When he does posts like the one we've just read now, he is speaking of the higher echelons, yeah? The bigger than thyself, and looks at himself when he does that in reference to where he stands in the nature of things of the universe. And I love that. That's absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Lovely writer. Absolutely beautiful writer.
Marius always puts none of his pieces are ever titled, but there's always or usually a single word at the bottom. And that's kind of the gist of the poem. That could be its title, really, or I guess that's what the poem is about, his single word at the bottom. And I find that really fascinating, actually. I don't know anyone else that does that.
Yeah. Well, I was quite surprised when I got it the other day and looked at it, and I seen there was a title to it, plus a word at the bottom, reverence. Yeah. So reverence was the long word at the very end, but we got a title as well. Janice Fisher, welcome in. Nice seeing you, honey.
Janice.
Who?
I've been talking to Janice behind the scenes and trying to get her in, and she's here at last, because I said to her, we've missed you for weeks, and now she's here with us. Yay!
Well done.
Brilliant.
Well done, Nina. Absolutely well done. Brilliant. We were only speaking of Janice the other day, saying we hadn't seen her for a while.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad she's here with us. And then excellent. I have one by a new gentleman called Stanley William Shearer, and it's called If. And I think this will resonate with a lot of people when you hear it. If I had it all to do over again, I would be bolder, braver. I'd tell the poo-pooers to stick it. I'd walk further and, yes, take the road with the most signs. I'd ask more questions. What's more, I'd demand more answers. I'd sneer at the laughers and, excuse this word, piss on their condescension. If I had it to do over, I'd jump from the 8th step instead of jumping from the 7th. Over and over and over again, and telling myself, maybe tomorrow. I would love freely and snub propriety. I would live like this were my one chance. I would dare to believe that I won't die, for giving myself credit and second chances. I would venture to believe in tomorrow. If I could do this life again, I'd ask for more help. I'd not be so damned ashamed. I'd have the courage to expect compassion just as surely and as joyfully as I give it. I would have more mercy on me. But alas, I am me this whole life. I am stuck with my past and damned if the present isn't doomed as well. I have made my bed and it is time to lie in it. If I had to do it all over again, I wouldn't.
That's the shock of the whole piece, isn't it? I wouldn't. We hear so many times, I'd do it all again. Would you, hell? You'd be out there peeing on
Uh,
everything so much it would be drowned.
not in the way.
Absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, not in the same way you wouldn't. You absolutely wouldn't. No, there would be so much we would change.
No.
But there you go. But I like the comparisons. I like that if I had to do it again, I would do this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should all write a
But
list of
then
what we
again,
do differently.
would you? Because once you change it and do something opposite of what you've done, you've got to do it all again.
Yeah.
But when you've done it
Yeah.
and you're not going to change it, you shouldn't change it. Accept it. Move on. Just don't do it
Yeah.
again. You know.
Absolutely. No, I know.
But as Christine
and then
said, a very interesting twist at the end.
I know. That's what I like. I love those. I love those.
Yeah.
And then I have one more piece from the lovely Kenneth Norman Cook. And it is untitled, but I love all his pieces anyway. But yeah, so this one's different, very, very different actually. Coffee cup at hand and fingers on the keyboard. But what to write about today? Shall I list the numerous heartaches accumulated over 57 years? What if I write of the moments of bliss wrapped in the arms and legs of fiery, wet passion? Shall I speak of the black, agonizing paralysis of watching them walk out of the door, leaving me to tremble in a dark, unimaginable loneliness? Perhaps I'll jot down the memory of rapture when I discovered that field and forest that came straight from my oldest, fondest dreams. But what about the unspeakable pain of loss, engendered by the knowledge that I'll never again look into the eyes of the only woman who never walked away? Oh, cruel, precarious life of ever-changing uncertainty. Why does the cold, hard rain always seem to fall upon the fragile heads of the innocent, and the chill, bitter winds always seem to blow icy gusts into the faces of the well-intended? My coffee cup is empty and my fingers are tired. Save, print. Time to give my fingers and my brain and my heart a little rest.
You know, in this day and age of the great technological revolution, we all find ourselves in this condition, don't we? At some point, at every point of the day. Our fingers are threading across keyboards, whether it's on a phone, on a laptop, on a computer, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And that's all we're doing. Wow.
Yeah. But just, he's, you know, he's obviously having all these, what do I write about today? And I love that. And then it's, yeah, just I thought that was brilliant. I love that. Really love that piece. And yeah, heartbreaking as well, though. Brilliant.
Yeah,
brilliant.
exactly.
Brilliant.
And again, it's one you will go back and read again and again.
Yeah, again. So, well, as we said earlier, they will.
I thought we were going to climb through then.
You what? Climb through?
I thought we were going to climb through. Yeah.
Really
I was just moving things on the table in case you fall out of my phone, you know, head first.
I would make a very ungraceful entry, believe me.
Oh my God. Well, listen, I'm not reading the next one. I'm keeping this for go with Marna because I promised you I wouldn't read this while you're on screen, okay? So I'll take this one for when I bring Marna back in. Yeah? This is Grief's Mask.
Actually, I've just I have just got one more that I need to sneak in, if that's all right.
Oh yeah.
I won't.
Oh yeah.
It's untitled, yeah. And I'm not going to say anything about it, but you'll kind of get the gist of it as we go along. Bringing poetry and laughter with a twinkle. What? What?
So you're talking to me. I'll get the gist of it, yeah.
Yeah, probably not, no. Okay. Shush. Bringing poetry and laughter with a twinkle in his eye and a Toblerone that's hidden out of view. He's the front man of the Dear John show that airs on Sunday nights, but behind the scenes, oh, if you only knew. He's a Dublin lad from James Street, so he's Irish through and through, who can talk from sunrise till the stars all shine. If you get him on the phone, your ears turn numb and go bright blue, but you're guaranteed a laugh to leave you high. He created Jack and Buttercup, a glorious comical farce, bringing characters to life through his narration. He has penned the finest poetry that is written from the heart, which inspires in many love and admiration. From a technical point of view, he's still in 1871, but the first to hold his hands up and admit. He will write out all the poems, lose the papers that they're on, but he does it with a flair and grace of wit. He will walk you through the park to share what nature has to show, sprinkling happiness and sunshine on his way. He leaves heartfelt feedback comments under poems as he goes, and he's never short of lovely things to say. He will have a swig of John Smith's, for it's something that he likes. I'd imagine that his bike goes that much swifter. He will pedal double speed and light up Warrington at night, even more so when he's fueled by pints of bitter. But for all the laughs and joking and the teasing of dear John, I am sure you'll all agree, there is no doubt. He's a special kind of person with the biggest heart we know, and we're better off for having him around. Happy birthday! I know it was a couple of days ago, but happy birthday.
Lena, thank you so. That is absolutely beautiful. But I need to ask, may I have a copy? Can I have a copy to save? Oh, thank you so much. That is absolutely beautiful. Wow. And you guys asked me what makes it so worthwhile doing this show every week. You guys do. You got me now. I got a bloody lump in me throat. Thanks very much. But thank you. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you, Charlotte. Thank you, everybody. Oh, goodness me. Wow.
Right.
Thank you, Nina. Really, sincerely. Absolutely, thank you.
You're welcome.
Listen, you know I forget most things that we talk about, and when the show finishes, I'll be going to you saying, did I forget anything? And I'll have forgotten everything, really, wouldn't I? Honestly.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
yeah. It's standard. I'm used to it now.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, thank goodness. One of the things we've talked about so much, and we do over the week, I mean, it's like they've all said, in the background of things that the show is not on air, there's a lot of preparation to do to bring the show itself. Yeah, we all work very, very hard to put our bits and pieces together, and we don't get a chance for editing or anything else. It is as it comes, and that's how it will be. Thank you, Jennifer, so much. Yeah. I'm delighted you're here tonight. It means so much, and we don't mind. You don't mind. Marna doesn't mind. Christine doesn't mind. If we make a cock up, we make a cock up. That's top and bottom line. That's what it's all about.
I think it's expected.
It's becoming expected of me, isn't it? But we talk about so much, and I loved the idea you and I, when we're talking, we come up with some great ideas out of nothing. Yeah, and what I love about it is it's for the going forward. It's for keeping the crowd moving. And we create a flow. We get their feedback through these messages here and everything else. That gives us a great idea of where we're going to go. It's where they want to be. Yeah. We're just in the middle of the crowd. And I like the idea.
We want to keep people interested. We want to keep it, so people don't know you don't know what's coming. I don't know what's coming. It's changed 3 times this week already. But yeah, it's just a kind of, if we have an idea, then we'll try it. We'll roll it out. If it doesn't work, so be it. And if any of the audience have any ideas or anything that they'd like to see happen, or anything they'd like us to do, then that's what we're here for. It's kind of like don't
let us know.
Sit back and expect. Give us some ideas.
Yeah. Exactly. Well, as we said before, and we keep saying, this is their community, our community. We're all in the one community. And in the community, everybody has a say. So if you would like something, it doesn't matter if someone else in the community doesn't go with it. If there's something you would like, we'll all go with it. One way or the other. We'll go with it in the community. Yeah. That's what the community is all about. Welcome, Andy. Please don't step on the stairs.
No, he's just let the dog out.
Oh, Joan Burke,
Yeah, no,
thanks very much.
we
And you know what? That piece in the poem about the Toblerone, yeah? That's something me and Joan used to have a great laugh about at times, yeah? Especially during the
well,
Buttercup and
I'll
Jack
I'll
season.
let you into a little confession. I'll let you into a little secret. Joan was the only other person
Go
on
on.
this planet that knew I was writing it.
Oh, Porky, you are absolutely something else. Wow. Wow. I
Yeah,
see. I wonder where
Joan,
this
Joan and I
Toblerone has
have been
grown
talking.
from.
So she's as much to blame.
Oh, I'm getting to know some people around this community now. Oh, yes. But fair play to you
Yeah.
both. I absolutely love that. That is absolutely beautiful. That's wow. What can I say? That's really took me breath
Well,
away.
you couldn't be organised enough to actually have your birthday on Sunday, could you? So, you know, we had to wait until the show to wish you a happy birthday, really.
Oh, yes. I love the way you do things, Nina. Absolutely love it. Full of surprises, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah, you never know what's coming,
As
do you?
Sheldon would say, is that sarcasm? Yeah.
Like that.
You got it now, did you? Oh
Yeah.
dear, oh dear, oh dear. But I did like it, your idea the other day. We've gone out this week. If we look at all the poetry we've done tonight, and I'm trying to go through it, there's about 8 newbies, if not 9 newbies, in the poetry tonight that we've
Yeah.
read. That have never been on the
Yeah,
show
I mean,
before. No introduction.
yeah, we're
And
constantly getting
newbies are
people.
so important. They are so
Yeah, we
important.
do
And
try
it's
and find new
important,
people.
yeah, and it's important for us to highlight them because just by bringing them out to the forefront can give them that little piece of confidence that they never thought they would get
Yeah,
and give them the
yeah,
boost. I mean, everybody starts somewhere, and it's beautiful to bring somebody and let them feel that little confidence to help them to develop
yeah.
and to grow. Yeah,
You know, it's like you and I were saying. It's quite interesting because when we approach people for the first time to ask them if we can have their poem for the show, some people, and understandably so, very understandably so, can be quite reticent about it. And you need to give them a bit more information, and you need to give them,
yeah,
we're able now to give them a link to the page so they can go and have a look for themselves. And I think, to be honest, once they've watched one of the shows, that's it. They're like, yeah, brilliant, thank you so much, you know, and it's an honour for them. But it's
oh
kind of
yes,
that initial
yes,
contact with people, and understandably so, as I say, you know, when someone comes to you and says, "Can I read your poem?" You're going to go, "What?"
hey, you are, yeah, hey up, mate, yeah. Yeah,
But
and
it's
we have
kind of
noticed, as
the
you said,
fun.
in the last few weeks, we have noticed people are becoming more acceptable, yeah, and more giving in
Accept.
saying yes, that would be beautiful to have my
Yeah,
poem read, and we love reading the poetry anyway. But I
of
think that
course
they're
we.
all getting the
Yeah,
idea now. It is safe. There's nothing going to happen to the poetry whatsoever.
yeah.
And every
No,
poem that comes
no.
on this
It's just
show is copyrighted by the individual poet. So there's nothing going to happen
totally.
to your
Yeah,
poem. We have it
no.
here
It's just
recorded. Nobody's going to be playing around.
it's bringing it that much further. It's giving it out to a wider audience than it might. You know, it would necessarily have been seen by in the first place. That's all it's doing. So yeah.
Yeah. And it's a great thing it does do
So
because, like I said, platforms are brilliant springboard for anybody. An absolutely brilliant springboard.
yeah.
I mean, I've been looking at the internet all week, and there have been 7 anthology books from various places, and they've done anthologies.
Right.
And people absolutely
Yeah.
so made up that 2 or 3 of their poems were put in an anthology. Yeah? And that's absolutely wonderful.
Mm.
It's wonderful. It's a recognition that they probably thought, we don't know how long they've been writing or how long they've been in groups and
No.
everything else, but it's beautiful. Even the anthologies, it's a still form of a show, isn't it?
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, yeah, and to be included amongst other writers in any format is nice. It's yeah, the inclusion is all part, and that's what this is all part of. You know, we're I know it sounds a little bit cliche and a little bit cheesy, but we want it to be one big happy family. You know, where people come together and put their feet up and have a
Yes.
cuppa or a glass of wine, or what it might be, and just relax and enjoy for an hour or two. So yeah, any
Yeah.
kind of inclusion and any kind of grouping of poetry together has got to be something good, hasn't it?
Oh, it's absolutely beautiful. I mean, you can see the satisfaction and the joy we among ourselves get out of the show, Nina. I mean, that's
Yeah,
absolutely wonderful.
yeah,
I mean, you've sat down and read, Myrna sat down, and Christine sat down, and I've sat down and read. And it's
yeah.
just a great feeling. We are getting to read someone else's words. Although we've read it in our own heads, we're getting to actually
Mm,
speak it out. Now, that's a beautiful feeling. Absolutely beautiful
yeah,
feeling.
yeah, definitely. And I mean, I'm not, you know, I'm only in half a dozen groups now. So you know, I don't come across all the people that I used to, and I'm sure it's the same for other people. I mean, I know we've got people who like to read only and don't write, so they wouldn't necessarily be in a lot of groups. So there might be poets they might never come across if we don't hoik them out of groups and read them on the show.
Yes,
So again,
very much.
it's bringing everything. Yeah, it's bringing everything to everybody, really, or as many people as tune in, really.
And just as Charlotte's just said, and it's all free here too. Of course it is. Because
Yeah,
we enjoy what we do. If this, I've said
yeah,
this to you before, Nina, if this became something that was a paid project, I wouldn't do it simply because it would be a job. I've already
yeah.
got a job.
I wouldn't.
This
I said to you, I wouldn't be involved. Yeah.
this is my pastime. This is my joy.
Yeah, it's a hobby.
And I
Yeah.
enjoy. I look forward to Sunday. It's the big day. It is, for me, it's just a big day. I don't care if you drive me nuts all week and have me bashing my head off.
Excuse me, I bring you a lot of information.
I was waiting for that.
I introduced you to Nickelback this afternoon, didn't I?
What? Say again.
I introduced you to Nickelback this afternoon, didn't I?
You did indeed. You introduced me to three wonderful, absolute God Almighty. What was the one? I told you it brought back so many memories to my own life. You put
Dean
memories
Lewis.
away. Just sometimes you just pack them
Lewis.
away. You don't need them. Yes,
Yeah.
Dean Lewis. And what a number that was. I mean, there was many interpretations you could have took from the lyrics of that song. Absolutely many.
Yeah.
Many interpretations, and as I said, I took my own, and sometimes we just close the door in our mind because it's easier to carry on forward, and then a lyric in a song comes out and you think,
well, this is it.
I forgot about that.
Yeah, yeah. So some people write song lyrics, and obviously, you know, obviously not always, but I'm guessing that people write song lyrics for reasons, and they do very often tell a story. I mean, there's an Ed Sheeran one in particular. It's called Supermarket Flowers, and it's about the death of his grandmother. And when you listen to the lyrics, it's heartbreaking. It really is. And we do the same with our poetry. You know, we write what we write for a reason, and it might be imagination, you know, because we want to write about something, or it might be to get something out. But that's what writing is all about in any format, be it song lyrics or poetry.
It may be our imaginations when it starts out. In the circle of things, it's somebody's life and reality. We've just hit a nail on the head. Exactly. We've just practically opened the can of worms type of stuff, which is brilliant. And I don't mean brilliant in the way of joyous, but it's brilliant that somebody can get something from what you've just produced in word. Yeah?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. John, I think I'm going to die
Paul
in a minute, so you better say goodbye. You better say goodbye to me and get.
You
Myrna
mean your
back
phone?
on.
Please make sure you're talking about your phone.
I'm talking about my phone.
Good.
Well, I hope I am.
I can't get you flowers till next Friday when I get paid.
That's all right. I don't need flowers once I'm gone.
Good. Nina, thanks a million, hon.
Yes.
And you know what? You're a gem
welcome.
in the background of things throughout the week. You're right there with me. Absolutely right, stand on with me. Brilliant. I look forward to catching you again later tomorrow. Yeah. I'm back at work tomorrow, so I'll have loads of time on my hands.
Oh, that'll be nice. I should expect a phone call then.
Oh yeah, what a job! What a job! I'll bring you on a bin run with me when I'm going out on a bin run. How's that? Like last week?
That'd be nice. Lovely. I think I've been on one with you anyway.
You can push
From
me
the noise
trolley
in the
for me. It's
background.
okay. Oh yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's so
Yes,
realistic.
I can hear you stirring your pot noodle and everything.
Oh yes, I hope so. I was trying to drive you nuts with that
Yeah.
pot noodle. You seen it as a pot noodle. I seen it as an Irish stew.
All right. Uh-huh. Yeah,
Didn't
that Shepherd's
taste
pie
like
was
one,
nice
but
the
I
other
was
night.
imagining. I've got a great imagination. Nina, have a
Right, say
lovely
goodbye.
week ahead. But I'll have you driven
Thank you,
nuts
lovely, and you.
beforehand. You know that already.
I'm
Have a
sure.
love you to
I have
bits.
no doubt about that.
Have a great night. Take it easy.
Bye, everybody. Bye. Take care.
Bye. Bye. Wow. What can I say? She comes in here every week like a fresh, cool breeze in these 28, 27 degrees that I'm in at the minute. And she just cools that breeze. What a woman to banter with. Absolutely fantastic. Makes my week. And as I said, in the background of things, the building up for the show for her during the week. We're always there. Hello, Paul Griffiths. Lovely seeing you. But we're always there together. And we'll always try and bring something new and develop the show as we go along. But you guys give us so much direction, especially with all these comments to come up on the screen throughout the shows. I'm going back in now to get Myrna because I don't like leaving anybody out. And I'd like to get the poem that Myrna had that she never got to read. And let's bring you in here, Myrna. That's Myrna. Let's see. Falling asleep, or we'll get it in, and I will finish off. I've got a little story for you to finish off with as well, but I've also got Nina's thing. Myrna, I brought you back. You found
Yes,
the
and I'm
poem,
going to tell you, man, I love
so I'm
Nina.
gonna go.
No, I love Nina. She got you so good tonight.
She did, yeah. I'm still smarting, by the way, still smarting.
Oh, you'll survive.
But it's been years since I've been hit by a woman. It's brilliant. Oh
Hey,
God, what a
if
wallet!
you're looking for that, oh, look out.
I know there's a name for that, but don't tell me what it is. I'll only become a hypochondriac with it.
Let's see. Let's see.
Don't you there.
No, I'm not.
So,
I'm not. I'm not.
I'm gonna have your poem, and then I'm going straight into Nina's. We've been on over 2 hours now.
I know,
Believe it or not, yes. And
but it's
I
been
know people will go
fun,
back to playback to get what they need.
and we've had some brilliant poetry. I mean, absolutely brilliant.
Oh, I've enjoyed every minute, absolutely, and I do every week. I love it.
Oh, this is fun. I mean, you never know what we're gonna get, and I think that's what makes it the best. It's because you never know.
Exactly. And you know, Nina, sometimes you never need to know until it actually happens.
Exactly. I mean, I love that idea. I also love the idea that you, Nina, came up with about posting the poems we read in the comments section.
Yeah.
That's great.
It gives everybody a second chance. It doesn't
Yeah,
just die there. Yeah.
yeah, because
So
when you read
the
it
ones you've
yourself,
got, Myrna.
when you read it yourself, you sometimes get your own interpretation. And to me,
Yeah.
that's what it's about. I always say, when I write something and someone has a different interpretation than what I might have intended, it doesn't offend me. It
No,
doesn't offend
it
me
opens your
because
piece right up, doesn't
it's
it?
the reader. I mean, you give the words life, but the reader is the one who gives it meaning and purpose. I mean, that's how I.
Yeah. Me too. Absolutely, me too.
So anyway, yes, I have Marv's poem up and ready.
Yes. Well, I'll have you on now.
Okay, it's called Plastic Flowers. Before me stands a lovely home of wood with stone facade, with many rooms of many themes, some cheerful, some quite odd. The walls are trimmed in oak veneer. What's real is something less, or is it more? What's covered thus? The latter be my guess. The window frames seem wearily drawn and sag beneath the weight. of cloth selected from a bolt in ritual of late. The walls and flowers in nature's hues with tiles and carpets lain. Above the natural soil we trod outdoors neath sun and rain. In all it forms a strange prospect when seen amid a view of all the wonder God hath wrought and shares with me and you.
What a beautiful, beautiful piece.
I know,
Wow.
I know, I know.
Wow.
It's one
Oh,
that makes you think. When I read Plastic Flowers, and I'm like, oh, where's he going? And then when I read it, and I went, I had one of those,
some things
yeah,
last forever, Marina. Yeah.
yeah, like you said, one of those goosebump moments. Yes.
Yeah. It's beautiful, yeah. And then the poet has been speaking to you
Oh, yeah.
in some way that the
You know, I
poet has
feel
spoken
that
to
way
you.
when I go by my mom and dad's house. I mean, there are so many stories, of course, within that home. I realized the home was built in 1941. And, you think what year it is now. And I mean, yeah, the stories from my childhood and the childhood of my brothers and sisters before me, there's so many stories within the walls, but yet, you know, it's what is around that home that makes it special, like the bayou, the marsh behind it, that's
Yeah.
what gives that home life and longevity, I think.
Or you can have a million houses.
Mhm.
Turning it into a home is a totally different story.
Oh yeah,
An absolutely different story.
that's
And
why I wrote
the
that
house
poem
to be a
Ghost.
home depends on what's inside of it and
That's
the
why I wrote
person,
that
doesn't
poem
it?
Ghost. Yeah, we called it home, and we called it Ghost because she's no longer there.
Yeah.
It's torn down, but oh, she lives on. They salvaged some of her stud um, framework and stuff and built another home out of it, and also
Wow.
salvaged some of the bricks that made the front steps to the home to the porch, and they used that too in a sidewalk at the same place. So yes, she's living on, and I'm so glad. But I hope she doesn't tell too many secrets.
Hey, secrets revealed are sometimes a blessing.
Yes, they are.
Marna, thank you again for this week.
Oh, thank you for
We've
having.
got two to do now. I've got one left. I've got Grief's Mask by Nina. And I have a story Nina sent me the other day, which is a very, very beautiful story. It's very short. It's a beautiful story. And
I may send
it
you a short
gives
story.
total pause for thought to anybody listening to it. It's absolutely beautiful. It's thought provoking, it's directional, it's everything that a story can be. It's absolutely beautiful. And I
I,
can't wait to get to
I may
finish the
send you.
show.
I may send you one of my short stories too from my series that I did.
How short, short, or how long, long?
I don't know. I'd have to read. I'd have to go count the words. I have no clue.
No, do I? I just read the words, man. I'm just seeing if I can get two nights out of it. Do I get a one night read? I don't know.
This
I
it's
just love when I get
but
a story from somebody
this is
to just get myself on my page and have a read. I just love an hour read.
yeah. I'll let you know which one I choose. But I have three books in the series, and they're all a storyteller who speaks to the village and sometimes just to the children. And so there are three different storytellers, and each, like the book one, introduces the second storyteller, but you don't know that until the second
Yeah,
book. The second book introduces the third storyteller. That one you kind of get the idea of who it's going to be, but I'm going to share the story where she's first introduced into the second book. But yeah,
beautiful. Absolutely
and
beautiful.
I'll send it to you. And then, I mean, if you want me to send more of the other ones, I can. It's one story after another. It's each is a separate story within the book.
Hey, you're the writer, I'm only the reader. You send me exactly what you would like read,
I'm
and
the
I will be
writer. You
absolutely
know what?
delighted.
You know what? I'm going to tell you this. You call me a
Yeah.
writer. Do you know that it's not until a few years ago, maybe 3 or 4 years ago, that I even considered myself a writer? Well, I would call myself a writer. I don't call myself a poet, and I still don't.
We don't care, we're going to call it to you anyway.
Well, I figured that. No, because this is how I've always felt. A poet is a label that, a title that people who read your work can give you. I don't give that to myself. Someone tells me you're too humble. I said, that may be true. But when I write for the readers. I mean, I write for myself in one way, but I write for the readers. And
Yeah,
they're the ones who decide whether or not my poetry is worthy, not me.
exactly. And that's the great thing about how humble we can be. It
Hmm.
stops all of that manic big-headedness
And
that
that's
you
why
find
I love
around the
the
place.
show, because people are willing to share. I mean, and in some poems, it's their heart. I mean, in every poem that I write, my heart is in there. It may not even be anything about me.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to send one for next week that will surprise you, and let everybody guess who wrote that. Because I
So we're
have
gonna
one
do.
that
You're
will
gonna
surprise.
send. You're gonna send me a guessing one. Lovely.
Oh yeah, but
Absolutely
I'll
lovely.
send you a short story too.
Brilliant. Thank you, Marna.
You're very
You're an
welcome.
absolute angel.
Oh, I don't know if
Have a lovely week
okay.
ahead.
I may
And listen,
I was at church this morning, so maybe I still have my angel wings attached.
probably still sticking out. But listen,
Until
go.
until I got home and it was raining on me. Okay, I think I might have lost some of my angel wings.
Listen, go easy on Kerry.
Oh
Okay?
no.
Be gentle.
Oh, maybe. No, because
Marna
I
the
couldn't
Queen
really talk
Badger.
to him. That's the thing.
Have a great week ahead. And I'll talk to you during the week.
Yes, of course, always. Enjoy
So,
your night off.
big
Yeah,
kisses, big hugs. Love you to pieces.
love you to
And
pieces
I'll
too.
see you on Sunday.
Okie dokie.
Don't forget, we're later next Sunday. I'll remind you during the week, okay?
Oh, that'll work out fine for me because I'll be able to have a chance to eat lunch after I get home from church. Because I haven't eaten lunch yet, okay?
It's okay, I'm taking note.
No, it's fine.
I know, I know.
It's not gonna kill me. I had 3 mugs of coffee this morning. Are you kidding me? With sugar. I didn't use sweetener. I used sugar.
Best of all is
So
sugar.
so my blood sugar ought to be way up there by now.
Okay, Marla, I'm gonna jump in and get these two
Yes,
these
you
two
do.
done, and then I can record it off. Have a beautiful week ahead, my love.
Okay, you too,
Mwah.
sweetie.
And
Bye.
Ed says Marla is a legend in the poet world. Happy days.
Oh,
On
Ed,
that note, I'm gonna let you absorb
I
that.
know. That is thank you, Ed. That's awesome.
Now, have fun.
Bye.
Goodbye. I hate seeing anybody left out, and I couldn't have went and put myself back together had we not gone back to Marna for that poem. Had to go back for the poem. And again, as I said, I've got one now from Nina Thilo called Grief's Mask. And this is one hell of a hitter, this one is. And Nina is just a beautiful writer. This mask I wear is not for me. I'm scared you'll walk away. Were you to see these tears I bleed? From cruel hands deal of fate. It's crafted well, fools all who look. For none can see behind. The shallow who I've now become is hidden deep inside. I didn't get to choose its style, decide how I'd appear. Since you were taken from my life, it's formed throughout the years. A pool of grief has grown in me, created anguished well. It overflows when memories hurt, the mask spread where it fell. Not many know the real me, the one I was before. I have my doubts I still exist. Who am I? I'm not sure. I lost myself a long time since. I think I left with you. That day I held your hand and wept. The mask knew what to do. It slipped in place and gave a front, a screen of false pretense, not shielding me, but others from the awkwardness of death. I'd share my broken sadness, tell the truth of how I feel. But for others, it is taboo, so my mask hides what is real. I get a lump in my throat every time I read this piece, and I do read this piece often and frequently because I've saved it. It's a beautiful, beautiful piece. And I remember the night when Nina actually posted it on the poetry page, and wow, spoke to her the next day about the particular poem, Grief's Mask. And I think a lot of us have learned how to wear the mask of grief in some way, shape or form over the years. And it's not a pretty mask to have to wear, but we do it to protect ourselves and sometimes to protect others around us. Wow. I've got a story to read to everybody. Nina, thank you very much for allowing me to read that piece. I know that piece meant so much to you. But what a beautiful piece to read, because there's a piece of everybody, every one of us, inside of that piece of writing. I have this one. It's a story. There's no name to the story. It's just a story. But have a listen to this. This is a very meaningful story. I actually read this to Jack the other day, sitting on the couch. There once was a little boy who had a bad temper. His father gave him a bag of nails and told him that every time he lost his temper, he must hammer a nail into the back of the fence. The first day, the boy had driven 37 nails into the fence. Over the next few weeks, as he learned to control his anger, the number of nails hammered daily gradually dwindled down. He discovered it was easier to hold his temper than to drive those nails into the fence. Finally, the day came when the boy didn't lose his temper at all. He told his father about it, and the father suggested that the boy now pull out one nail for each day that he was able to hold his temper. The day has passed, and the young boy was finally able to tell his father that all the nails were gone. The father took his son by the hand and led him to the fence. He said, "You have done well, my son, but look at the holes in the fence. The fence will never be the same. When you say things in anger, they leave a scar just like this one. You can put a knife in a man and draw it out. It won't matter how many times you say, 'I'm sorry.' The wound is still there." The little boy then understood how powerful his words were. He looked up at his father and said, "I hope you can forgive me, Father, for the holes I put in you." "Of course I can," said the father. It's not always anger. It is your actions in general. There are no fresh starts in life. There is no new beginning. Forgiveness comes easy for many people. But the scars of the past, they never go away. Watch what you do today, because sometimes the price isn't worth the reward. And isn't that so true? Sorry is one of the most unnecessary words in the English language, and we use it every day at every opportunity. And if we were to just spend a nanosecond before we say something, all that could be avoided. All the hurt, all the pain, all the scars, all the anguish could be avoided. So I thought I would leave this story till the very end of the show, that we could all ponder as we go through our week. Because no one knows how strongly it's going to start or how weakly. Jennifer, thank you for joining us tonight on the show. It's lovely having new people in. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience to be with all the people that come in here. I love every minute of it. Everybody, From me to all of you, I love yous to pieces. Wishes all the best of week ahead for this week. And next Sunday will be later than usual. 8:30, 8:45. You won't know until it actually comes on because I don't know what time they'll get me back to Warrington at. But hopefully, 8:30, 8:45. And things will continue from there. Listen, it's been an absolute pleasure being here tonight. Ed Clinton, have a great week, Ed. Joan Burke, one day we'll share the Toblerone. I would love a Toblerone, Joan. I really and truly would. Nina, Marna, Charlotte, Christine, thank you all for being here. Diane Burgess, lovely having you in again. You're here with me every week. Vandita, everybody that's been in tonight. I cannot think of every single name. But everybody that's been here tonight, good night and God bless. And I look so forward to seeing you all here again next Sunday. Love yous to pieces. Good night, everybody.